In the red corner, standing at a towering 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing in at a lean 229 pounds, it's the one and only Lennox Lewis. Lennox entered this bout as the reigning heavyweight world champion, carrying a perfect record. 23 fights to his name, all of them wins, with 20 big knockouts. Across the ring, pacing with intent, stood a challenger known for raw size and devastating power. At 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing 238 pounds of solid British beef, it was the one and only Frank Bruno. Bruno came into this contest armed with vast experience, having fought for the title twice before, though falling short each time. But now he had set those setbacks aside and was fully focused, determined to seize the heavyweight crown with absolute conviction. This wasn't just another heavyweight matchup. This was the greatest British fight of all time.
I'm gonna knock you upside your head, boy. That's so hard.
Please try.
Fans were out there, man. I got to keep them
Where's
sweet.
your skirt today?
I've got my skirt is at home, mate. I'm in suspenders as well.
Good.
Leave you out of here, boy.
You're a living embarrassment.
I am a thespian, so don't mess about
Well,
with
at least I'm not a sellout as well.
In the early 1990s, the British boxing scene stood on the edge of a long-awaited breakthrough. For decades, Britain had produced a line of admired, courageous heavyweights: Henry Cooper, Brian London and Joe Bugner. Yet none had been able to secure and retain a big win and lift a world title on the modern stage. The country had not seen a dominant heavyweight world champion since the era of Bob Fitzsimmons nearly a century earlier. By the time Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno were scheduled to meet, British fans were desperate for a defining moment, one that would finally announce that the nation had returned to the top tier of heavyweight boxing.
Mellow out and just focus of all the hard work you've done over 10 weeks, the running, the sit-ups, the weights, the sparring, the bad things that the guys have been saying about you, and just saving them and saving all your emotions like a Coca-Cola bottle and ready to explode.
Frank Bruno, already a beloved figure in British sport, brought enormous physical presence to the build-up. Standing tall with a sculpted physique and intimidating power, Bruno embodied the traditional expectations of a heavyweight puncher. His knockout strength had become his calling card, earning him both respect and national affection. Yet for all his popularity, Bruno had repeatedly fallen just short on the world stage. His earlier world title attempts against Tim Witherspoon in 1986 and Kid Dynamite in 1989 had ended in heartbreak, reinforcing the narrative that British heavyweights could bang on the door but never get inside. These losses hung heavily over the British boxing landscape, each one a reminder of how far the country still had to go to reclaim global heavyweight prominence.
The time always goes past really slow, so I'll probably watch some action films or karate films and keep myself occupied at that time and do as much resting as I can and make sure that I eat properly, get some carbs in me.
Meanwhile, Lennox Lewis represented a new kind of British hope. Younger, undefeated and carrying the confidence of an Olympic gold medalist, he saw himself not just as a champion, but as the man who would redefine British heavyweight history. For Lewis, the path forward was clear. He wanted to become the greatest British heavyweight of all time. His ambition extended far beyond fame. He sought legacy, dominance, and a place among the sport's immortals. Yet before he could pursue global supremacy, he first had to claim the loyalty and recognition of his own nation. Facing Bruno, a national hero and a true treasure, was the test that would determine whether Lewis could truly unify the British public behind his journey. For all these reasons, the Lewis-Bruno showdown became the biggest fight in British boxing history up to that point. Britain now, with a heavyweight world champion in Lennox Lewis. But it was an all-British heavyweight title that would get the crowd on their feet.
On a cool October evening at Cardiff Arms Park, Wales, Lennox Lewis made the second defence of his WBC heavyweight title against Britain's favourite sporting son, Frank Bruno.
And away they go. Bruno, you don't really need the identification in the white shorts. On paper, it's the better mover of the two. Oh, big sharp jab from Lennox Lewis.
He's moving around as well. He's using that little bit of movement, and he's tried that big right hand twice.
Remember how Lennox Lewis overwhelmed Razor Ruddock in a couple of rounds, and the jab was a good one. He's landed it 3 times already, Glenn. Bruno, for the moment, just biding his time. The faster start, and there Lewis just slipping and losing his footing a moment. Lewis has made the more confident start.
Frank's good. He's took the center of the ring. He looks very strong. Lennox is moving around, just trying to get Frank off balance that little bit.
Decent little right uppercut inside from Bruno there. By going for body shots.
He's got to have a good stiff jab.
Yes. They're both good jabbers. That he would come out very fast and maybe a little carelessly, but he always said that he'd take it coolly.
A cracking start from both lads, bit cagey at first, but you could tell straight away they were well up for a proper old-school tear-up, and blimey did it deliver.
With a big blanket. Second round for the WBC Heavyweight Championship.
Frank's keeping his own left hand pretty high. Jab, but he obviously sees that big right hand from Lennox as a danger.
Bruno, a mellower, more mature model these days. Bruno looks very confident in these early stages, occupying centre ring. Twice been threatened by eye injury. And it's not been a bad start, this, for Bruno.
Focused, and he's taken the fight to Lennox right from the beginning. But he's doing it sensibly behind a good jab.
Only the 24th fight of Lennox Lewis's career. Some experience on his side. These periods in fights where he just seems to switch off and not do a lot, and that seems to be the case.
He's just parrying it nice with his own right hand.
And the left hook from Bruno with good hand speed.
So he's using a good defense and keeping pretty elusive.
Bruno.
Shots from Bruno.
Jabs, chance of Bruno, ring around Cardiff Arms Park. He catches Lewis again. Oh. Well, he's certainly trained, I know, for extra mobility for Bruno. 34 stone a heavyweight in there. A chat with them. Mickey Van looking to impose his control on the two of them.
Mess.
That was Bruno's round, I think.
In the second round, Bruno came out strong, pushing the pace and letting his hands go early. But as the round wore on, things began to get a bit scrappy in there. Both men trading rough, messy exchanges on the inside, neither willing to give an inch.
Lewis in the red shorts. Lewis needing to just maybe reimpose himself in this round and starting fast.
Yes, I think he's been told that in the corner. He's been told he's got to take the fight to Bruno.
Just so far in the first couple of rounds. That's a good overhand right from Bruno. Did Lewis take that? He looks in a spot of... That shook Lewis up a little bit, but he's still there. This is an excellent performance so far from Bruno, but he didn't go down, and he's still there.
He's getting the success because he's using his strength, he's forcing the fight, and he's using a very good jab.
Good look on Lewis's face at the moment. Giving him a hard time. This is not the fight a lot of people expected to watch.
Lewis is neglecting that jab a little bit. Lewis has got to get his own jab working.
He's got his gloves down very low as well. He's still there. Three rounds gone, and Bruno, no doubt about it, landed the...
In the third round, Frank Bruno came out stronger than ever, smashing Lennox Lewis around the ring with heavy thudding shots. The crowd couldn't believe what they were witnessing. Bruno was dominating, driving the champion back and looking full of confidence. Suddenly, the impossible didn't seem so far-fetched. Could Frank really go on to do the unthinkable and become heavyweight champion of the world?
After the midnight hour in Cardiff. But you feel that there may be one or two more twists and turns ahead of us. Jab more.
Well, that was a key thing that he had to do, and he was neglecting to do that in the early rounds. And he's got to keep using it. It's a key weapon in this fight.
Really good stiff ramrod jab. That's always been one of the big plus points in his weaponry. The two of them looking to work other openings off the jabs. Lewis is starting each round fast, but then rather switching off in the middle phases of the round. Bruno's been called programmed, stiff, robot-like in the past.
So far, very good performance. The big bombs are coming in from both men now. That's getting through.
Lewis is a bit more mobile in this.
Double it up.
The fourth round saw Lennox Lewis finally wake up and realise he was defending his heavyweight crown. He came out sharp, snapping out stiff jabs and finding his rhythm early. But Bruno absorbed the shots well, kept the pressure on and continued stalking his man right up to the final second of the round.
The referee very anxious to let everybody know that he is in charge. Here's a punch profile so far quickly for you. Lewis 49, Bruno 52. And to the referee, it's sometimes a sign that they're not entirely comfortable with things. Accuse Bruno of being a dirty fighter. The word the Americans like to use is focused, isn't it? And it, I think, sums up
very
Bruno.
Focused.
Oh, that's good from Lewis. Two jabs and then a fast right hand, and Bruno ate all of those up.
But Lewis is having some tough moments
from the champion, but he needs more of that. And every time he does land, Bruno takes the shot. Again, Lewis is complaining about being held and pulled on the punches. This is a tough and close fight. So far, Frank Bruno is making a few people eat their words here. Could become big factors, you feel, later on in this.
Terrific pace. Good shots from Lewis.
A very, very high work rate, though. Lewis just upping the pace a bit. He's done that twice in this round.
The fifth round delivered a brilliant tactical battle from both men. Everything Lennox threw, Frank answered almost immediately in kind. It was a terrific round of British boxing. Fight fans were getting exactly what they'd hoped for. Scheduled for 12 rounds, the question now was, could these two keep taking these all night?
Sixth round, and Pepe Correa is being told by Mickey Van, the referee. Sixth round, moving towards the halfway point here. And Lewis, his left eye is just beginning to swell up a bit as well. They've both taken an awful lot of jabs. Lewis, you get the impression, is looking to up the pace a little bit.
Furious started this round. And Lewis is really letting the big shots go. Big right hand to the body he threw. And it's bound to take it out of both men at the end of this fight. They're both going to be tired as the rounds go on.
Certainly want to have got rid of the stamina problems he had early in his career in this one. But they're beginning to develop damage. There's been a relentlessness about Frank Bruno in this fight. He's just got that old arrogance back about him.
That's right. Well, he's starting Lewis back. It's kept him off balance, but he's having a good point here.
Bruno is so hungry for this. No point deducted for punching behind the head of Lewis.
I think there was no point deducted because Lewis dipped his head down.
The sixth round exploded into action with 27 punches thrown in the first 30 seconds alone. Game on. Both warriors were fully up for it, trading with intent and refusing to give ground. The big question now, could Bruno impose his size, strength and experience on the younger, leaner, slicker champion? This was his third crack at the title and he was giving it absolutely everything.
I'm scoring the fight even, so is Glenn McCrory. So far we've got Lewis landing 84 punches and Bruno 83. This is the 7th round. They both have a little bit of facial damage.
But one thing's for sure, this certainly is a great heavy.
Look at Bruno here, coming up with their left hook, catches him, and Bruno was hurt by that. And Bruno is in trouble, looking to close in to finish this, and Bruno is in big trouble. And Lewis carries him. These are bad moments for he's on a relentless assault here, pouring on the punish, right uppercut, and I think Mickey Fang's going to stop it. He's called off the assault, this incident in the fight. Uppercut, Lewis here, and Bruno is on the verge of going. He won't take a lot more, and this is still the WBC.
A fantastic win for Lennox Lewis, a true battle right up to the final punch. Bruno would be devastated with the loss, but he would regroup, rebuild and come again. I've been Frank Bruno. Take care.